For Module 3, I continued to examine veteran students on UNCW's campus. For my first applied research activity, I attended the UViz trainings and became a UViz mentor. UViz is a new online program that UNCW adopted about 2 weeks ago. UViz is an online veteran center. From this online center, veterans are able to join for free and connect with their peers, including veteran students, staff members, faculty, non-traditional students, as well as other students. They have the ability to ask questions on a Q&A board. You can kind of see the running newsfeed of questions and answers and just information that's posted here in the second photograph on the slide. They also have the ability to access various resources, including information about their GI Bill and other Veterans Affairs aspects. Additionally, they're able to tap into information about financing for college, career services, and even some information about counseling and veteran hotlines. Something unique to UViz is this mentors capacity. Anybody, including students that are not in the military, as well as faculty and staff, are able to set up a mentor profile. And what that does is it helps match veteran students to mentors that have knowledge and skills in the various aspects that they're interested in. For instance, I am a graduate student, so I can put in my profile that I am a graduate student and say a veteran is curious about graduate programs or what it's like to be a graduate student. He or she can search the mentor's profile, type in graduate student, and my name will pop up as a mentor that is willing to discuss the topic of grad school. My second applied research activity was attending Debt of Honor. Debt of Honor was a documentary that explained disabled veterans in American history. It discussed military men and women that have served in World War I, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, World War II, as well as the most current war in Iraq and Afghanistan. After the showing of the film, Ken Burns, the director, hosted a Q&A. During the Q&A, I learned that veterans, they experience a great deal of transition while they're going into the military, during their time in the military, and the time that they exit the military. It talks a lot about the unpredicted types of transitions. It explained how men and women join the service and it's kind of glorified and they don't necessarily realize that combat is a reality and that instances can occur. For example, it showed a strapping young man who entered the military. He was on the front lines and ended up becoming an amputee, and from there he had to learn to transition into life post this trauma and try to maintain some sort of quality of life. This idea of transition before, during, and after the military made me want to explore the Schlossberg's transition theory a little bit. Schlossberg's transition theory considers transition, individual, and environment factors determining the degree of impact a transition will have at a particular time. It also addresses the nature of supports available to facilitate coping and strategies used to assist people experiencing change. So not only does it do a deep dive into what transition is and the types of transitions that there are, it also goes into the 4 S's that explain how somebody can cope when they're going through a transition. And these 4 S's are situation, self, support, and strategies. The goal of Schlossberg's transition theory is to operationalize variability. It's to help understand that change and understand that there are several processes that people undergo internally and externally as they transition from one state to another. One of the pros of this theory is that it is applicable to various groups of people. I'm applying it to veteran students, but it can also be applied to adult learners as well as traditional students, essentially anybody that undergoes a change from one state to another. One of the major cons of this theory is that it lacks research in support of its validity. There has not been many tests out there that verify its merit. Finally, my changes in perception. I learned now that veterans experience a significant amount of change before, during, and after the military, and that people are not always aware of these transitional needs. And finally, that UNCW is making a conscious effort to serve military students.